So we've now got 1 lap to go. So if you're Matt Payne, it's gloves off. He doesn't have to be polite. He needs to run him all over the postcode to see whether or not he can keep him behind. He'll drive down the inside. Brock is going to do everything he can aggressively to try and find a way. He goes high, high, high on the bowl. Feeney is on the charge down the back straight. What a nail-biting supercar race into the final corner. He might get this. Feeney tries to duck underneath him. And this will be the win of all miracle time in supercars if Payne can get it. And he gets it. That is a spectacular drive. How good was that? That is an epic drive from Matt Payne. I can't believe it. They can't believe it. That is extraordinary.
How good is that? He is running hot. Matty Payne! Welcome.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Well done.
They must be the ones that are so much fun. I mean, a great race, great finish. I think it was like the 3rd closest in supercars. It's just phenomenal.
Oh man, that was definitely probably the craziest race I've had. To do 48 laps on those tyres and then finally with it to be within whatever the finishing time was, you know, it was 0.005 or something. So it came right down to the wire, and you can see, like, as my celebration shows, it's let all the emotion out, you know, when it finishes. So
yeah.
Very special.
Got rid of some rubber off your wheels as well. Just on that, how old were you when you did your first donut?
Look,
Don't say 14.
I don't know. I don't want to say too much. No, it was probably not even that long ago. I think it was actually Adelaide 2 years ago when I won the 500 there. I actually sort of was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'll just give it a go. And then I tried it over the back so no one would see. It was pretty cool, though.
Reliving that moment and watching that back, you sort of felt like then you were almost holding your breath. Do you go back post-game and sort of watch those moments with, you know, the commentators over the top and relive it again? Oh,
absolutely. Like, especially, we even watched the racing back just as a sort of overview and to try and see where we could have gone better. But it was so special for us, and especially as a team, collectively, we sort of executed really well in that race specifically. So it was an awesome day, but for me, I really like going and watching that back. And,
Matt,
Mother's Day too, wasn't it? I think?
It was too, yeah. That's actually my mum up the back. Yeah.
And Matt, so on that last lap, did you feel at any time that he's going to get you?
It's hard to say because
in the moment,
Tassie is short. It's 3 corners, and I knew exactly where the opportunities were, where he was going to try and pass. So, yeah, I just kept it really close on the pole line and just blocked pretty hard. And yeah, I was a little bit surprised, especially there's a hairpin which is turn 4, and I was surprised how far back he came out of there from me. And I knew by then I'd sort of done a job and finished it. But I think if I had one more lap, it would have been tough.
And the battle for the title is well and truly alive. You're right in the mix with Brock and Will Brown and Waters, of course. Chaz is just a little bit behind that as well, but not out of the race, of course. So there's going to be some fierce racing over the next couple of events.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Like, Perth's another short track, so it's tough for us. It's only got a couple of passing opportunities. I really do like the new format of racing. I think the 440 stuff is really cool. It brings strategic options into our races, as well as the different tyre compounds. I think realistically have made the difference for us. So as we've seen, the last first 4 rounds of this year have been unbelievable racing. It's been really cool to watch. Even watching back for myself has been pretty special. But yeah, I think it's going to be tight. You know, the Red Bull guys are obviously they're having their own battle between themselves, and we just got to keep trying to push them forward and just score as many points as we can.
Matt, speaking of Red Bull, I want to ask you about the F1 and Mad Max Verstappen, who's a real villain of the sport. What did you make of his move on George Russell in the Spanish Grand Prix? Yeah,
it was pretty touch and go. I'd say it's tough because obviously they had the restart and he was on tyres he had left. It was a very situational one where it was very tough for him to defend that anyway, where he was in third, as everyone was on better tyres. But It's really, I don't know, it's just Max. He's a different character. I know a lot of people love him, and there's probably a lot of people that hate him. I think, you know, what he did was pretty special. I've seen it a lot on racing games and that, but yeah, he's a character, and I think, you know, what he did, it shows that. Whether or not the penalty fits the crime or what he did, I'm not sure, but it was pretty cool.
New Zealand punches above its weight, let's be honest. You Kiwi.
Thank you.
You've got Shane Van Gisbergen, you've got Scotty McLaughlin over there, Liam Lawson, a mate of yours, I think you grew up nearby. So how have you enjoyed watching him being involved in the F1?
For Liam, it's been really special, obviously knowing him since we were probably 2 years old, I think, even that young. So to watch him go on his path, and obviously race against him for a long time in karts back home, and he's done unbelievable. I think he had the dream right from the start, and he probably had so many people saying to him, you know, oh, that's not possible, things like that. I think you get that everywhere, but for him to actually get out there, get the sponsorship, and make the partners, you know, believe in him to get there, I think it's absolutely awesome. The situation he was in at the start of the year was pretty tough. I thought it was pretty rude about how Red Bull went about it, just with the first 2 rounds being tracks he'd never been to before. So it was pretty tough, but I think he's bouncing back really well. I think, you know, he's back in a car which he's comfortable in, and obviously going to some tracks where he really enjoys. So yeah, I just wish he does well and continues to stay in the sport.
Tony mentioned some great names there out of New Zealand. They've all gone off to the US and overseas, of course, racing. I know you're contracted with Grove, and Stephen Grove runs a fantastic team, of course, for another couple of years. But have you got sights in your own mind eventually stepping into a different world?
Yeah, I think there's always, being a New Zealander, I think we always have goals and we always have dreams to aspire, you know, to be the best in our sport, which is something that, you know, stays very close to me. But for now, I'm really trying to focus on the supercars and make sure that, you know, we're doing everything we can this year. As you know, we're in a very good spot to do well in the championship. I think, you know, all my energy is really going into that, trying to make sure 25 is a really good year for us. And even the next 2, I really want to try and, you know, be 2 places better than I am now all the time. But yeah, really enjoying it now at the moment. It's really good. The team's just really coming on form, and it's a lot of fun, especially when you have races like we did.
And as you say, Perth this weekend.
Yeah, it's I've been there a few times now, so I actually really do enjoy the track. I like the elevation. It's quite cool. It's going to be interesting with this sort of format we have with the 440 with the different tyres, running on the new soft tyres we have for this year. So that's going to be different as well. But I think it's going to be another weekend of pretty tough racing and pretty heavy door-to-door racing as well. It's a tight track and it's very short, so not too many passing opportunities. And I think we've seen some really good racing this year, but it's yeah, you just got to qualify up the front so you don't have to get stuck down.
Exactly.
Too much of the drama.
And just tell me, when you get over 250 kilometres an hour, is it total control or what the hell is going on?
Nah, it's total control. Nah, it is.
How many points have you lost off your licence?
I don't know. I haven't been pulled over yet.
Hey, good luck for this weekend. Lovely to talk to you. Come back and see us again soon. All right, don't forget, you can catch Matt in action this weekend with Fox Sports bringing you all of the action from the Perth Super 440. If Tasmania was anything to go by, you won't want to miss it. Coming up, our champ of the week is next. Stick around.